So I lost sport mode when I put the new transmission in. Well, hey guys, welcome back to video 3, day like 17 here. And we're getting there. We got our new upper, lower, middle radiator support bracket in today. It's not broken, so that's a bonus. It took a little finagling to figure out what the combination of putting parts together was, but I think we're there. And now we just need to bolt it together and start trying to get the headlights lined up. I think that's probably going to be the biggest fight because this whole thing is rather adjustable, I suppose you could say. And since it's all plastic and pretty much snap together. Okay, there's a piece in the back seat that looks like it fits there. I was wondering where this went, and looks like it goes right here. Yeah, there we go. Put some bolts to hold the top of the shutter in. These little guys are what hold the radiator from actually moving, evidently. They're just pins that go down in there, and kind of like an old light bulb socket. Or not really an old one, I guess new ones are like that too. So let's see here. Are they different? They wouldn't be different. Why would they be different? No, they're the same. Just like that. Okay. I'll say they're a lot more difficult to get out than they are to put back in. Oh, look at that. Plastic. You know, I put a lot of snap together models together when I was a kid, and I guess that was just good practice for today's cars, I guess. So now the hood latch can go in, and I remember that these two thick little washers had something to do with the latch bolts, or actually they're nuts. These two nuts here. So it looks like these are spacers to go between the plastic and the metal. So they just go. If I had to guess, this was an afterthought by Ford. So we will start with the nuts back in the factory position where they were, and then we will adjust from there. Okay, something like that. I guess we'll start with that. Might as well see if the hood shuts. Now we made absolutely no tweaks to the hood, so we should just be able to line everything back up to the hood latch, and that should put us in a good starting position. It's real close. I could go over that way just a touch. System could go that way, and I think that's going to be in the entire upper radiator support brackety thing here. Just throw that on the floor. Let's see if anything kind of wants to move. Because there's a ton of adjustment in that latch, and it looks like the latch could go over that way too. It looks like I missed my marks a little bit, but yeah, latch needs to go over just rubbing on that edge. All right, let's get some hood stops in there. So we need the original ones out of the original. And of course, they just snap in. So cheesy. All right, I'm going to do a little more tweaking on this hood, get it set where I want it, and we'll move on to probably headlights. I think the headlights are next. Now that we got everything together there, I got the hood fitting nice. Didn't take much, a little adjusting. I got the right headlight put in so I could figure out how it goes in. It's kind of, again, snap together crap. And it's pretty simple, but it's just, I don't know, I think it's kind of cheesy. Kind of, like I said, snap together crap. Okay, so this guy snaps into this little, like that, plastic thingy down there, and then, and I'm just saying, there's just a lot of plastic and snap together. It's just kind of crazy. So the headlight snaps into this little brackety thing from Ford, but that thing is like fully, it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just not very strong. I mean, slightest bump in this thing and everything's broke. Definitely ain't no Nissan. Nissan's not much better, but I do want to get this in and plugged in to verify that the light works, because I don't know if it needs to be programmed into the car or not. If it does, I'm just going to take the driver off the original headlight, put it on this headlight, and then it really shouldn't know the difference, but you need to make things fit first. Got the headlights pretty much where I want them. Everything looks good. I mean, a little tweaking would be nice, but we're out of adjustment, and they probably were never meant to be the way I want them to be anyway, so. Before we go any further, let's fire it up and make sure they work. Okay, marker lights. I think it needs to be running for the headlights to actually turn on though, or key needs to be on, I guess, but we'll just fire it up. Okay, I can see low beams. We got high beams. Okay. High beam, low beam, blinker, blinky. By golly, I think we're ready for a bumper cover. I think. This thing's heavy. Definitely ain't no Nissan bumper. This guy needs to plug in up here. This one is for the hood latch. Where's the rest of that wiring supposed to go? That's right. Oh, there it is. Gotta look at that. I feel I'm missing something. Doing something there. Okay, looking at the original, it has a slit right here in this rubber for the harness to go through, and this one does not, so. Not a big deal, just a piece of rubber. I know they're 10 snips, but they work, so. Let me snap in here. There we go. That makes a little more sense. Okay, other than that, it just hooks on there, kind of like a safety catch, it looks like. So I want you to go up over there. Yeah, everybody's cooperating. Goes up in there. Okay, bunch more bolts. Now if I've got everything in the correct position, then this should fit. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Everything lines up good. But I don't want to put that in yet in case we need to do some adjusting on that hood yet. I think it's time to bolt the crap out of it, because there's a bunch of little screws. Alright, I'm going to get the bumper bolted up, and then we'll get some inner fender wells put in it, tires put on it, a couple pieces of trim that I'm missing yet that I forgot to put on. And it might just be ready to take it for a cruise. Well, for the most part, I think the edge is ready. Got one thing left to do though, and that is find out why the check engine light is on. Now I am assuming that it's nothing current. I mean, we had a lot of broken wires, and I'm assuming that the engine light is for the broken wires on the air shutter. So the air shutter motor wasn't being registered into the system, so I'm assuming that's what the problem is. Plus we had a couple broken wires on the transmission. But to verify that, we're gonna get out the top-down one as usual, and then we'll scan the codes to see if they're current. If they're not current, and then we're going to clear them. Then when we drive it, if anything comes back, we'll rescan it and go from there. And I got to tell you, this thing has been a time saver like you wouldn't believe. I mean, last week alone, a friend of mine had a check electronic parking brake service light on his Expedition that I built like a year and a half ago. They were coming over for dinner anyway, so I just plugged the top down in, scanned it, found out it was having a fault with the left rear brake caliper. The next day he went underneath there, found out that there was a broken wire. Evidently it's common on the Expeditions. So instead of him taking it to the dealership and having to pay them to fix it, I told him where the problem was. He went in, found the problem, fixed it himself, probably saved himself $300. That's half the price of the scanner. So we're all plugged in. We're gonna read the VIN here quick. Better turn the ignition on first, probably helps. Confirm that. So we'll just do an auto scan. We're gonna scan the entire system because I know we're gonna have some codes for the transmission for that broken wire, and we're gonna have probably multiple engine codes, so it's gonna be all over the place. So let's just scan them all. This will take a few minutes. Now the other day, if you remember last year when I blew the transmission up in the 77 Econoline, now remember that's got a drivetrain out of a 14 Mustang GT in it. So when I pulled that transmission out, I ordered another transmission, a used one from a 14 Mustang GT, so the exact same. So then all I had to do was put the valve body numbers into the computer of the van, and everything was good to go. Now I didn't have TOPDON at that time, but this would fully capable to do that. But what I lost was sport mode. Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff here, so we're just going to clear everything and see what comes back. I mean, we got ABS, we got, geez, I don't know, 12, 14 different codes. And look at that, they're all cleared. Let's just start it up, see if everything comes back. Yeah, right now there's no check engine light, so yeah, that just took me 3 minutes to go in, scan it, clear all the codes, and be done with the system. Normally, this would be a half-hour drive to Jamie's shop, probably BS with him for at least an hour, and then a half-hour drive back. I would have lost 2 hours labor right there for an $800 scanner that just did it all. And again, back to the van. So I lost sport mode when I put the new transmission in. And that I like sport mode because you put when you shift into sport mode, then you can manually shift the transmission. So when I want to race people. But it didn't work. So the other day, I threw the scanner on it because I want to check my transmission temperatures anyways, because I can't pull them out of the dash like I thought I could. So I threw the scanner on to pull the transmission temperatures. We're cruising around for like an hour, and I just wanted to see where they were. And they were perfect, like 178 or some crap. Because I'm still curious why I burnt that transmission up, right? So anyways, while I'm in there, I realized that with the scanner, I can go through and see what position the transmission's in. It told me it was in park. I'm like, cool. So I just park, reverse, neutral, drive, and every time I shifted, the scanner told me where it was at. Once I hit, when I shifted to sport mode, it stayed in drive. It didn't change. So that told me that I thought the problem is with the new transmission or the programming. Here, the linkage was misaligned. So you got to remember, we're using the shift linkage of the factory 77 Ford van and the shift rod going down to a 14 Mustang GT transmission. So there's a little stop that's on the transmission to stop the shifter from going past sport mode. And that thing was basically misaligned. I needed to move it back like a 1/16 of an inch because it wouldn't allow the shifter to go into sport mode. The shifter on the column said I was there, but the transmission wasn't seeing the signal. So after a couple minutes of jacking around, adjusted that back, went back to the scanner, click, sport mode. And the problem went away. So yeah, this thing is pretty awesome. For the $800, power off. This thing has saved me probably, between me and a friend of mine that, like I said, we used it on his Expedition twice now. I mean, I bet it saved $1,500 in labor just in time alone from having to go somewhere and have it scanned to find out where the problem is, to guide us in the direction to fix it. And this thing's proven itself every time so far. But anyways, yeah, this top-down one, I'm glad they reached out and offered this to me because this thing is a major time saver. Anyways, we're going to take this thing for a little rip now that the engine light's clear. Go up to the park, see how it drives, see if we need to change anything, and then get it ready to go to California. Well, we're just going to take for a little rip up the road, see how it does, make sure the check engine light stays off, and then see what we end up with. Well, I think that's going to wrap up Cork's last ride. It's a little cleaning, a couple things to finish up, nothing major. Other than that, thing runs, drives beautiful. Yeah, doesn't need much but a little cleaning, and then gear down the road, I guess. But we're going to do our closing inside the car today because the old white caps are running on the Mississippi right now because it is probably about 35-mile-an-hour winds out there today. Obviously, it's going to be really noisy outside. So anyways, guys, that's it for the ST Line Edge. We're going to get this one ready to go down the road, and then we have imagine that, a Nissan Rogue coming up. Got a couple of other cool projects coming up too. Something a little different, that's for sure. But probably a week or two yet. Appreciate you guys watching. Catch you on the next one.